We as humans have been building houses since the dawn of time. From living in a cave guarded by sticks to a penthouse in the middle of New York City on the 100th floor, humans have always been building houses. Your home is one of the few things that can describe who you are as a person. It can be small or big, bright or dark, full of flowers or full of junk. Everyone feels different about what is comfortable, functional, or even pretty. And today, there's surely enough means to make even the wildest visions come true. Most people decide to just get a normal house in a subdivision where, for the most part, they can't change the exterior of the home too dramatically. But for some people, having this type of design isn't good enough. There's some people out in this world that want the craziest, weirdest, and most eye-popping homes on the planet. So we went home shopping for some of the craziest homes in the world, and oh boy did we find some. From a completely transparent glass home to a house so tall it starts entering the federal airspace. These are some of the most unusual houses around the world. If you're one of those types of people that like privacy, or any privacy at all, this home is definitely not for you. This home was built in Tokyo, Japan. The building is unlike any houses around it. The interior of the residence has hardly any walls, and the house boasts large glass windows for plenty of daylight, but the downside seems to be the lack of privacy. Just about everything indoors is exposed to neighbors and random strangers passing by. The house design was actually a request from the clients, a young couple without any children. I'd just love to hear how the conversation went down between the builders and the client. So, how many windows do you want in the house? Yes. This house is entirely see-through and pretty much leaves nothing to the imagination. All the walls are pretty much giant windows, allowing for everybody to see into your home and bear witness to anything and everything that you do. According to the architect that designed this thing, he took inspiration from traditional tree houses. So instead of having the traditional first floor and second floor, the interior of the house is made up of different platforms set on varying heights. So instead of walking up normal stairs, you have to climb these little platforms. This gives you an impression of climbing into a tree house. The design gives you a whole lot of space for furniture and people. Thankfully, this neighborhood is not too busy, allowing for some form of privacy considering the nature of the house. But if you still need a little bit of privacy, curtains were installed in some of the rooms in the house. I'm pretty sure neighbors won't be too keen on seeing what kind of business you do in some of these rooms. The next house on our list is this. Ultimate dream for a person who loves skateboarding. The PAS house, or the Pass house, is the first house designed to be entirely used for skateboarding as well as being a traditional home. The Skateboard House is the project of a private residence built in Malibu, California. In this house, you'll be able to skate any areas and surfaces, indoor and outdoor. The client and visionary of the project is Pierre-Andre Senzergis, PAS, a former world champion and pro skater, which is how they got the name for the house. The house is divided into 3 separate spaces. The first one includes the living room, dining area, and kitchen. The second one includes a bedroom and bathroom, and the third one is a skateboard practice area, which technically all the rooms are skateboard practice areas. Each space is skatable in the home. As the ground becomes the wall, then the ceiling, and a continuous surface forming a tube of a 10-foot radius. The furniture in the home is also skatable, whether it is integrated in the curve like the sitting area, the kitchen, or the bathroom, or just as standing objects like the dining table, the kitchen island, or the bed. So if you want to become the next Tony Hawk,
what's up? Do a kickflip! Yo, do a kickflip! Do a kickflip! Holy shit.
This house is definitely for you. One home is enough for most people, but not the owner of the Dr. Seuss house in Alaska, nicknamed as such for resembling Dr. Seuss's famous art style, officially known as Goose Creek Tower. This teetering structure was created using layers of steel supports assembled with a crane to stack a dozen log cabins on top of each other. The owner utilized his engineering expertise to continuously add to what was originally only planned as a 2-story cabin. Over the course of 20 years, he got this. Though it certainly has great views, anyone with a fear of heights will want to steer clear. Actually, the house has now grown so tall that the owner can't build any higher without entering federal airspace. It is said that you see up to 300 miles away, and when the northern lights come up, it's a house worth dying for. This next home is a claustrophobic's nightmare. This is what's being called the world's narrowest house. Not here, not there, but right here. Warsaw, Poland is home to the world's skinniest house, which doubles as an art installation designed by Polish architect Jacob Jamias. The house in Warsaw is wedged inside a 4-foot crevice described as a cushion of air between two buildings. If you originally saw the space between the two buildings, you would have never thought a whole house could fit between them. The house stretches over 30 feet tall, but is simultaneously only 28 inches wide at its narrowest point. 28 inches. You would barely be able to fit 2 subway footlongs in your home. The house is just 4 feet wide at its widest point, and the idea is to inspire people that live there with the unusual feeling of being restricted by their surroundings. As an early age kid, you might have watched some of the popular TV shows, Batman, the Jetsons, or even the Flintstones. As a kid growing up, you slowly realize you'll never be able to enter the Flintstones world and meet all the characters for real. But what if you could bring the Flintstones, dinosaurs and all, to this world? If you're ever driving down Berryessa Way in Hillsborough, California, you simply can't miss it. The house stands out among its neighbors with its smooth purple and orange domes, not to mention the huge dinosaur sculptures in the yard. The inside is also a sight to behold. Curved white walls everywhere you look, with eye-catching art around every corner. Round built-in shelves line the walls of the kitchen, along with fun details like huge 3-dimensional holes in the wall. Inside the tallest orange dome is a sitting area called a conversation pit. An orange couch curves around the front of the fireplace, and a big window looking out onto a garden and patio. The house is filled with artwork and sculptures added by the owner, Florence Fang. Fang bought this house for $2.8 million in 2017. She says she's loved the house since the first time she came inside. She took the Flintstones theme to a whole new level. Along with the Flintstone sculptures, colorful mushrooms dot the yard, aliens, dinosaurs, astronauts, even Bigfoot. But not everyone appreciates the eccentric decorations. Town officials in Hillsborough filed a lawsuit against Fang, calling the house an eyesore that doesn't comply with the community standards. But Fang is defending her vision. She says her house represents the idea of the American dream, with all different kinds of creatures living together in harmony. Nestled in the tropical rainforest of Costa Rica is a 1965 Boeing 727 that is actually an Airbnb. The Costa Verde plane is built out of repurposed old airliner, previously used by South African Airlines. It took 5 trucks to transport the hefty Boeing to its current location. Its inside has been renovated into a 2-room suite boasting hardwood floors and Costa Rican paneling. Even the lights above the bed are Grey Goose vodka bottles. I guess that fits the whole plane wreck jungle house vibe thing. One of the best parts about this place is that they did not remove the actual cockpit, which even comes with a bathroom and shower overlooking the entire ocean. Weird place to put a bathroom, but hey, I guess they had to put it somewhere. This place even comes with your very own kitchen, stovetop, and refrigerator. There are 2 bedrooms, each with a beautiful view. The treetop vantage point offers guests breathtaking views of the Pacific Ocean and all the islands surrounding it. Germany's latest roadside attraction will turn everything you know upside down. You can find the cafe along the A3 Autobahn. As well as a coffee shop, there's also a fully upside down house next to it, which is open for the public to explore. The entire establishment belongs to an imaginary family named the Topples. It's not just the outside which looks topsy-turvy, inside everything is upside down as well. Fruit bowls hang down from the kitchen ceiling, and you'll even find a toilet above your head in the bathroom. If that wasn't all sufficiently disorienting, the entire building is built on a 6% incline. From the outside, this gives the impression that the house somewhat fell to earth and came to rest precariously on its roof. Inside, the extra slant just emphasizes the crazy nature of the upside down house. How far would you go for your beliefs? Religious devotion can lead people to make big sacrifices for their faith, but one monk has taken the idea of isolation to a whole new level. Maxime has spent the past 20 years living in a cottage on the Catskill Pillar, a 131-foot tall rock that stands above his monastery in Georgia. He lives his life in almost a complete solitude high above his Georgian monastery. It's such an isolated place that the only means of accessing the home is by a 131-foot ladder. A climb by itself takes 20 minutes to get up. Maxime does it twice a week to pray with his followers. He became a monk after doing time in prison, and he wanted to make a change. He very rarely allows visitors to climb the pillar. Those that do are required to spend a number of days praying at the base before being deemed pure enough to make the ascent. Originally, it took him years to complete construction of this cottage, which I don't really blame him. It might seem like an extreme place to live, but the practice of living on top of the Catskill Pillar has its roots in the 15th century when Christian monks would live in such places to avoid worldly temptation. I just can't stop of thinking of a millennial living up there. After climbing a 131-foot ladder, damn, I forgot my phone in my car.